The music had already begun echoing across the grand ballroom, strings and violins swelling like waves against marble walls and golden chandeliers, when the bride's voice cut through, sharp and demanding. In that instant, every guest fell silent. Their eyes shifted from the glowing bride in her diamond-encrusted gown to a trembling young woman standing at the corner of the hall. She wore a plain servant's dress, her hands clutching the edge of her apron, her belly visibly rounded with the weight of an unborn child. Her lips quivered as the bride, radiant yet ruthless, ordered her forward. "Sing," the bride said coldly. "Sing for us all." No one dared intervene. But the silence was thick with judgment, unease, and anticipation. That moment, cruel and humiliating, would change the course of everyone's life forever. If you believe kindness, compassion, and second chances matter more than pride, cruelty, or wealth, take a moment right now to like, comment, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Your support helps spread more stories that remind the world of what truly matters. Her name was Anna. She had come to the mansion just months before, seeking honest work after being abandoned by the man who once promised her forever. Pregnant, frightened, and with no family to lean on, Anna had swallowed her pride and taken a maid's job at the sprawling estate of the renowned millionaire, Daniel Voss. To many in the city, Daniel was a man of power and fortune, his name linked with prestige, success, and a kind of untouchable charisma. But Anna had seen little of him. She worked quietly, always in the shadows, scrubbing floors and polishing silver while battling nausea and the exhaustion of carrying life within her. The mistress of the house, however, saw her every day. Celeste. The soon-to-be bride of Daniel. To outsiders, she was admired for her beauty, her style, her ability to command attention. But to those who served her, she was feared. Celeste ruled with a cruel tongue, finding pleasure in reminding her staff that they were beneath her. And Anna, young, vulnerable, and carrying a child out of wedlock, became her favorite target. Day after day, Anna endured taunts about her swollen belly, her tired eyes, her slow movements. But she bore it all quietly, hoping that if she kept her head down, she would survive long enough to save some money for her baby's future. Anna's one escape, one fragile piece of herself she clung to, was her voice. In the stillness of the night, while cleaning alone, she would hum lullabies her mother once sang to her. Her voice was soft yet haunting, carrying the kind of sorrow that could pierce even the coldest heart. Sometimes, even the other maids would pause, listening with tears in their eyes, telling Anna she had a gift meant for the world. But Anna never believed it. Not anymore. She was just a maid, and the world had never been kind to maids. On the day of the wedding, the mansion transformed into a palace of light. Golden drapes, roses in crystal vases, orchestras tuning their instruments, everything shimmered under the glow of wealth. Guests arrived in glittering gowns and tailored suits, their conversations dripping with luxury and envy. Celeste glowed in her gown, reveling in the power of the day. Yet beneath her smile, she seethed with insecurity. For all her diamonds and designer lace, she knew one thing deep inside: Daniel's heart was not entirely hers. He respected her, yes, admired her perhaps, but the spark of love she craved never fully shone in his eyes. When she spotted Anna standing near the door, carrying a tray of glasses with trembling hands, an idea as cruel as it was theatrical struck her. She knew Anna sang. She had heard whispers from the staff. What better way to display dominance than to humiliate her in front of hundreds? So, as Daniel welcomed guests and music filled the room, Celeste clapped her hands, silencing the hall, and commanded Anna to sing for everyone. Anna froze. Her heart pounded in her chest. She wanted to disappear, to melt into the floor, to escape the hundreds of curious eyes now pinned on her. Her baby shifted inside her, almost as if sensing her fear. Celeste's voice grew harsher. Go on, Maid. Sing. Or shall I tell everyone why you're here, carrying a child no man wanted? Laughter rippled through parts of the room, cruel and nervous. Anna's throat burned. Her body screamed at her to run. But then she caught sight of Daniel. His expression was unreadable, his eyes locked on hers with something she couldn't quite decipher, curiosity, concern, maybe even sorrow. With shaking hands pressed against her belly, Anna closed her eyes. And then, like a fragile candle in the dark, her voice rose. At first, it trembled, barely audible over the hush of the crowd. But as she sang, something inside her broke open, every heartbreak, every night of loneliness, every whispered promise to her unborn child. The song poured out like a confession, like a prayer, carrying a rawness that silenced even the cruelest whispers. The chandeliers seemed to tremble with her voice. The guests who moments ago smirked now found themselves wiping tears from their eyes. Even the orchestra lowered their instruments, mesmerized. When the final note faded into silence, the ballroom erupted, not with laughter, not with ridicule, but with thunderous applause. People rose to their feet, clapping, cheering, some even crying. Anna stood frozen, her eyes wide in disbelief, her cheeks wet with tears she hadn't realized had fallen. Celeste's face turned pale, her forced smile cracking under the weight of the unexpected outcome. She had wanted humiliation, but instead Anna had captured every heart in the room. Then came the most shocking moment of all. Daniel, the millionaire groom himself, walked across the grand hall, his step steady, his eyes never leaving Anna. The applause softened into silence as everyone watched, breathless. Reaching her, Daniel gently took her hand and lifted it as though she were the guest of honor. His voice rang out clear, steady, full of something that sounded unmistakably like admiration. "This woman," he said, "has given us the gift of truth tonight. A voice born of pain, but also of strength. A voice the world needs to hear." The room gasped. Celeste's eyes flared with rage. And in that moment, everyone knew, the wedding would never be the same. From that night, Anna's life began to change. Daniel offered her not just protection, but opportunity. He introduced her to musicians, to people who could nurture her gift. He ensured her child would never go hungry, never be homeless. But more than wealth, he gave her dignity, restoring the belief that she was more than her scars, more than her struggles. As for Celeste, her cruelty had unmasked her, and though she clung to appearances, whispers of that night followed her forever. Anna's journey was far from easy, but it was hers. And with each stage she sang on in the years to come, with her child by her side, she remembered the night she was forced to sing, how humiliation became triumph, how cruelty was silenced by truth, and how kindness, when chosen, has the power to transform destinies. If this story touched your heart, please like, share, and subscribe to Kindness Corner. Every click helps us continue sharing stories that remind the world of compassion, hope, and the resilience of the human spirit. And before you go, we'd love to hear from you. Comment below, do you believe one moment of courage can change an entire life?